Now that we've got our relationship set up between stock and customer, we want to be able to create a way to easily display the stocks that a certain customer owns. So we're going to go back to our stock controller, and where we currently have rest.json stock, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do rest.redirect, and we're going to redirect back to customer show plus stock.owner. Because remember, the stock that we just created has an owner object that references a certain customer. So we're going to use that owner attribute to redirect back to the customer's show page. So once we've redirected back to the customer's show page, on that customer show page, we want to create a way to display the stocks for that customer. So the first thing we're going to do is this. We're just going to throw a little line in there. So above our new stock button, we're going to add a new table. And this table we're going to label with stocks. And it's going to look a lot like our customer index page. We're going to have different attributes here: symbol, number of shares, and I'm going to add a spot there for current price. We're not going to have a current price there yet, but I'm going to leave a column in the table for that current price so that later on it'll be easy to add. And then we're going to do something, again, very much like we did with the original customer view page, the index page, where we loop through each customer and then display their ID, email, and name, along with the show, edit, and destroy actions. We're going to do that same thing, but we're going to loop through customer.stocks, which is going to be an array containing all of the stocks for that customer. And to that, we're going to pass one stock at a time. So for each customer in this stocks array, we're going to run this function one time using that argument of stock. And down below, we'll have stock ID, we'll have stock symbol, stock.symbol, stock.number of shares. And then instead of customer down here, we're going to redirect to stock.show, stock.edit, and stock.destroy, which are functions we're not going to create right now, but you're welcome to create those on your own. And this, all it's going to do is loop through that and then display that information on a stock. Don't forget to leave that empty column if you have a current price column saved there in your database. Now currently, customer.stocks is not going to be populated because we haven't instructed Sails to follow that relationship in the database when it's creating that customer object to pass to the show view. To do that, we're going to go back over to the customer controller. And right here where it says show, we're going to change this first line just a tiny bit, just enough to make this happen. Now I'm going to add the new line underneath here, and I'll have to align it just a little bit to make things line up. There we go. So you'll notice there's just a couple little differences. And in this new line, the second line here, we're using the exec function that I showed you how to use in the destroy tutorial. So what we've changed here, we still have customer.findOne, and now we're passing that request parameter, and now we're completely closing that findOne method call. And then in addition to that, Sails adds the ability to chain commands on top of each other to execute other things. And what I've added here is a command called populate all. What the populate all command tells Sails to do through that waterline interface is to populate all of the collections and the relationships that a customer has. So our customer has relationships for stock right now. As we can see in our customer controller, we've got stocks and a collection of stocks. Populate all in this way tells this customer.find function to search out all of the stocks that a customer owns and to add those in an array inside of the customer object. And now, instead of having function found customer error, we're just going to add function into this exec. So the bottom lines don't change at all. So once I delete our old line here, we've got an extra closing brace now, and we're going to get rid of that, and then we'll just go into code and reformat code to redo the indents so everything lines up nicely. And so now what this customer find one will do, will populate all of the objects related to the customer, which we will need here in show in order to get this array of stocks populated. So now that we've got that running, we can pop on over to our site. And this customer here, customer 1, already has 2 stocks. So if we go and navigate to that show page, we'll already have a listing of the 2 stocks that that customer has. And if I add a new one, Yahoo, I don't think that's their code, but that's okay for now. And we'll have 50 shares of Yahoo stock as well, and that is automatically added. Notice the show, edit, and destroy will work, but it won't do anything pretty. But edit and show are not currently hooked up to anything, so you can't use those functions. Those will be something you'll have to add on your own following the pattern that we used for customer. So of course, we have a working site. We have a working show page showing that beautiful list of stocks. Add list of stocks to customer page. We will commit and sync those changes. And that's it. We have a fully functioning site with all the things that you need to have relationships between objects and to pull those objects into your site.